Yo, it's Arkin, and today I'm checking out the Heavy Gauge Guitar Sample Pack by Stroma Sample Company, made by our last night's guitarist, Matt Wentworth. And everything you're about to hear, I made without picking up a single guitar. And trust me, you never know it. So yeah, let's get into it. Start with my intro here. Really didn't have to do anything. This was really just drag and drop from the loops. Found some chugs. It was really well done and processed. All I did was some EQ filtering here, kind of coming into this intro. I also made some like atmospheric stuff, but I have this feedback sample from this sample pack. It was a free download on their website, which I'll also leave in the description below. But it really adds to the effect. Kind of use this as like a riser effect into this next section, so really cool. With this, I found the single note picking DI muted. Put some just like regular, but I gave it some clean. This like dotted ambience preset. I reamped it, and then I put this reverb. So really, I was trying to just make like an atmospheric effect here. Then I believe I froze and flattened that one, and then put it on this layer, then reversed it. Yeah, pitched it up an octave as well. So yeah, really getting creative with that and just trying to make some atmospheric stuff. Then I have these notes. It's kind of like pre-lead into this next lead that's happening in this next section, which I'll go over in this next section. I'm just kind of filtering it out. This is a DI sample. What's cool about this pack is most of these categories have a low gain, high gain, and a DI. So the high gain, low gain will be process samples, but the DI give you that direct input signal in with just no amp. That way you can reamp it, and it's really cool. So just kind of, yeah, switching between notes there. I am pitching them up 2 octaves. Pretty much my intro. This next section, I have these leads here in regards to this pre-lead. So what I did was just take, this is just a demonstration I have on this layer here, are basically, I took these loops in the D key and an A key. I would alternate between them to give it a more natural feel. So I would take this note from the 4th, put it in the 4th place here. Take this note in this position here, put it in this position here. This is exactly what I did for all of them. So it gives it a more natural feel. Gives it a more natural feel because if you just duplicate them constantly, it just feels a little repetitive. Just gives it that real vibe, so it doesn't seem so robotic. So I did pitch it up an octave because I felt like the original was a little low for what I was trying to do. I wanted them to be a little more high lead, so then I did the same here, just switching notes. And then, yeah, I went up another octave, so now I'm up 2 octaves going into this next part. Yeah, really dope. Then I have these chords, power chords. I got a high gain stacked on top of a low gain, and I'll let you hear them together. So just the high gain and then the low gain. So yeah, it gives it a really full sound altogether. Yeah, and just kind of switched out the notes and stuff. I think I just liked the sounds or whatever, but and then I believe even on these lead notes I have the serum effects, got some downsampling and hyper dimension. Kind of adds to the feel of like electronic vibe of so without feel like it just kind of sits in the mix a bit better too. Although I didn't really focus on much of like the mixing part of this, but then I got some of these long ring out. I kind of just switched the notes for that, kind of leading into that next section. Similar thing here, use the DI. Just kind of wanted some atmospheric background stuff. Got some downsampling here, filter, ring mod filter. So without the serum effects. It's just this like clean preset on this amp. Got some EQ. Then with it, there's really not a whole lot going on. It's just getting creative with some of these effects and stuff. Pulled this sample from my intro here and going into this halfway point, I guess. I do it at these other... So just to kind of keep the listener engaged and some cool effects going into each section. Got it added to the vibe. So they had these really cool one-shot down samplers like this. I almost used it like a down lifter in a way. So I have a low and high gain. I'll play the low and the high and together. Really cool. And then I have some filtering going on, fading this little thing out. Got a bunch of this effects automation going on here. Really just gives it that, like, I don't know what you call it, filtering into oblivion. And then I have this cool dissonant picking going into this next kind of like a pre-lead thing going. And I'm cutting out a lot of the lows. Although I probably could bring it back a little bit here. And then I have this chug pattern, which is so cool, this fist pump. I mean, it's so sick. That's so sick. So I also have a lo-fi filter happening on this. Because without it, it felt like too meaty. I didn't want to like bring the beef of everything just yet, so I wanted to hold off until this next section drops. So yeah, this part all together. Yeah, I really just kept the chugs going and, you know, took off that lo-fi to bring the beef. I did some similar things with these notes here, got some high lead, down sampling again, just, you know, switching out some of the notes, and I did bring them up 2 octaves as well. And the dissonant part continues here, just kind of switching out some notes there as well too. Some more feedback. Oh, this cool little harmonic sweep one shot they had. It flowed. It was really cool on that. What is this guy? Oh yeah, I have one Sullivan King like vocal sample I thought was cool. So I got this cool bend. I reamped it, just used the DIs as part of the one-shot group here. So really got to do some digging to find some of these stuff. It's really cool what they got in here. And then I panned this one to the right and the vocal to the left to give it a little bit of stereo width, and it sounded really cool. So this next part, I kind of just did some cool panning effects, kind of chopped up some of the chugs and just went back and forth with the panning here. Got another harmonic sweep happening there, some more feedback, riser kind of effect going into this next section. Then this cool loop of a riff, the dotted octave accent. It just sounds so good. Really just didn't do much at all with it. Just dragged and dropped that one in and did some EQing slightly, but yeah, I really dig that riff. Had to put a pinch harmonic in there, so this was part of the one-shot group as well. So So then I just kind of took the atmospheric from this intro part, put it here, another feedback kind of riser thing, and another little riff section here, switching the note or the key. Then this like harmonic slam is really cool, found in the one shot group, kind of going into this next section. I really dig that. These little ghost muted notes thing I found. I really like that. Pretty much I copied, pasted these atmospheric parts here from the intro. Added a little bit more, but yeah, just these notes again. Got some filtering, echo, fade out thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I whipped this up pretty quickly because the samples were so good and it kind of came together really fast. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it.